Did you know that some people in history were slowly sawed in half, starting from the groin, while still alive? Execution wasn't always quick. In fact, ancient punishments were designed to maximize pain and humiliation, turning death into a horrifying public show. From boiling alive to being eaten by rats. Trust me, you won't believe what we've got at number 1. So grab a seat, hit that like button, and watch till the very end, because this episode is going to blow your mind. Welcome back, the Time Walkers. Let's step through history together and uncover some of the brutal executions the past has to offer. History isn't just written in ink, it's written in blood. Across centuries, execution wasn't only about punishment, it was a public spectacle of suffering. Today, we're counting down the 10 most brutal execution methods in history. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. Number 10. Rat torture. A cage, a rat, and human flesh. That's all it took. Executioners strapped a cage filled with rats onto a victim's stomach or chest. Then, they heated the cage with fire. With nowhere else to go, the rats clawed, scratched, and eventually chewed straight into the victim's body, burrowing deeper into their organs in a frantic attempt to escape the heat. The victim didn't die quickly. They remained alive long enough to feel every bite. Number 9. Boiling alive. Nothing is more terrifying than being cooked alive. Across Europe and Asia, executioners dropped victims into vats of boiling oil, tar, or even molten lead. Sometimes they were thrown in while the liquid already bubbled. Death came within minutes. But the cruelest variation placed victims in cold water, heated slowly until their skin blistered, muscles melted, and organs failed. A slow, screaming death by fire and steam. Number 8. The brazen bull. A twisted invention of art and agony. This hollow bronze bull had a door on its side. Victims were locked inside and a fire lit underneath. As the metal heated, the person inside roasted alive, their flesh searing against the burning walls. Pipes transformed their desperate screams into animal-like bellows, so the crowd could hear a bull roar, while a human burned alive. Number 7. Sawing in half. Hung upside down, with a saw between the legs. Executioners began cutting downward, starting at the groin. Because the victim was inverted, blood rushed to the brain, keeping them conscious far longer. The saw tore through pelvis, intestines, and spine, inch by inch. Some victims reportedly stayed alive until the blade reached their chest, a slow descent into hell. Number 6. Flaying alive. To be skinned like an animal, while still alive. This method, used by the Assyrians and later medieval rulers, stripped victims of their very humanity. The executioner would peel the skin away in strips, often starting at the face. Salt or hot oil was sometimes rubbed into the wounds to prolong the torment. The victim died from blood loss, shock, or infection, but not before enduring unimaginable suffering. Number 5. Crucifixion. The most infamous execution in history. The Romans perfected crucifixion as the ultimate punishment. Victims were nailed or tied to wooden beams, their arms stretched wide. Death didn't come from blood loss, but from suffocation. With each breath, the victim had to push up on nailed feet until exhaustion left them to choke. Some hung for days, slowly withering under the sun, as carrion birds circled above. Number 4. Impalement. A wooden stake turned into the most feared punishment in Eastern Europe. Victims were forced down on sharpened stakes, which pierced through the body, sometimes from the rectum or vagina, emerging from the chest or mouth. Careful placement avoided vital organs, ensuring the person stayed alive for 24 to 48 hours. Vlad the Impaler famously lined roads with forests of writhing, dying bodies, a spectacle of pure terror. Number 3. Lingchi death by 1,000 cuts. A death designed not just to kill, but to erase dignity. In imperial China, the condemned were tied up while the executioner sliced away at the flesh, first arms and legs, then chest and face. Each cut was small, but the pain was enormous. Victims could endure hundreds of cuts before finally collapsing. It wasn't just death. It was destruction of body and soul, piece by piece. Number 2. The breaking wheel. Bones shattered, and bodies twisted beyond recognition. Strapped to a wagon wheel, the victims' limbs were smashed one by one with an iron club. Each strike broke bones, leaving them limp and mangled. Their remains were then woven between the spokes and raised for all to see. Some lingered for days, broken but alive, until thirst, blood loss, or scavenging animals finally ended the suffering. Number 1. Scaphism, the boats. The most horrifying execution ever devised. In ancient Persia, the victim was trapped between two boats, with only the head, hands, and feet exposed. Force-fed milk and honey until they vomited, their body was then smeared with the same mixture. Insects swarmed, burrowing into open sores and flesh. Victims lay under the burning sun for days, or even weeks, rotting alive as maggots and vermin consumed them piece by piece. Not just death, but the slow disintegration of a living body. And that concludes our journey into some of the darkest execution methods ever recorded. From boiling cauldrons to the dreaded boats of Persia, history shows us that the past was far more brutal than we often imagine. This has been The Time Walkers, guiding you through the shadows of history, where truth is often stranger and darker than fiction. If you want to keep walking through time with us, uncovering the hidden and the horrifying, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss what comes next. Until our next walk through history, remember, the past never stays buried, it waits.